So we'll begin today's session. It's also a clarity if you want to ask any questions. अगर कोई प्रश्न है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं. But we will contemplate a little more deeper. And this is connected to tomorrow's webinar again, from doing to being. So being is the ultimate what we are aiming for. So we'll recite a small Shanti mantra before we begin. Asatoma Satgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Mritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So I was telling yesterday also in yesterday's satsang that we can inculcate these two mantras, Shanti mantras. They are very deep mantras. They are very close to the Om Shanti Shanti. They are in the beginning and they are the end. These mantras and these prayers are very deep, very simple prayers. These are and these prayers talk about the ultimatum of life. There is nothing else talking about because where the Om births only and where the Om ends. That is the beginning and end. That is what we are knowing as I am, I amness. So I amness only is being. It's not easy to come to that state, but yeah, we are all practitioners. We are practicing. We are practicing to be. Be means no practice. Being a state hai, there is absolutely no practice there. No sadhana, no rituals, no any kind of doing. But that state cannot come without practice. Like Ramana says, the effort to become effortless. So we are all practitioners and we should not bow down lesser than that. That's the humility that we are practicing. We should never pretend. Pretension is dangerous that we have reached. I always keep advising seekers all the time. Never get to that feeling because it's very, very common as you go deeper in these paths. A feeling of completeness will start coming sometimes. And the feeling of even I've reached. That's very dangerous for many. I have seen in these many decades of my life on the spiritual path, seekers falling down from there. They go to a very peak level and it's very, very sensitive, and then the ego takes over and then it's gone. Spiritual ego is more dangerous than the common ego. Common ego dikhai to deta hai. Common ego is this only, I'm big and you don't yap up in front of me, you don't know who I am. The pride and things like that, show off and all. This is all the common ego, but spiritual ego is very subtle. It can be silent and yes, very boosted in. So those are dangers. Those are called pitfalls on the path. And every seeker will be tested. As I told you, the tests are immense on this path. People do not know. They think going deeper and deeper, it's all going to be simply easy. No, because when you're talking about self-realization means nothing other than the self should remain. Of course, not absolutely, because if nothing other than self remains, that's moksha. But self-realization can have the I-ness, can have ego, can have the body consciousness. It can have the idea that I exist or I am realized. It can have all these things. But the awareness keeps one in the witness mode, even if you know that. There is no interaction. There is no, what do you call? It doesn't get to your head. So that is where awareness comes very handy. Awareness shows everything. Awareness can show even if I am not right. That is awareness. According to me, awareness means telling my flaws. The day I don't see my flaws, then my awareness is not working. As simple as that. The day I don't see my flaws, means that the spiritual ego has taken over, the subtle ego has taken over, and then I feel I'm perfect, I'm done, and then I'm on the top of the world. Dangerous. As I told you, I've seen many seekers going very nicely, and then a big slip, and then they are gone. And it takes a while for them to even know that they have gone down. How many of us have seen this? How many of us, we have all realized this. Sometimes we fall and we don't know we have fallen down. It takes a while to know that, Arey, kahan se kahan gaya? What has happened? Then we scramble and things like that. So even sometimes the fall is very silent. That is why this whole talk about awareness, deepening awareness, whole talk about deepening awareness. Awareness is your God. Awareness is your guru. If you don't have it, then catch outside guru. Simple. But beware. If you say, I don't need an outside guru, and you're not bothered about your inner guru, beware. If the ego says, I don't need an outside guru, then make sure your inner guru is shining so hard that he is more harsher than inner guru is more harsher than the outside guru. Ruthless. Then you can risk leaving the external gurus. But agar manmani chal rahi hai, then catch some outside guru. Any guru you catch, any path you go, catch. Latke patke you scramble there. But be very careful on that. Because I've seen that's the test where the outside is dropped and the inside also is dropped. Like I tell about these two giants whom I adore so much, Osho and Jiddu. Osho used to criticize Jiddu and Jiddu used to criticize Osho. Not that they were fighting, it's needed because these criticism is introspection. Even if the followers of Jiddu or followers of Osho need to still introspect, even if their gurus are telling them the ultimate. The gurus also have to be challenged there. Not literally, I mean, by having a debate or something like that. But what the guru says, that also should be questioned. Otherwise, seekers sit in comfort zone and they say that's it. And that's why I love these two giants. Practical and authentic spirituality. So I don't take that as debate or wars between them. They're deeply helping seekers introspect and not lay down there in sloth. But the seekers used to take a lot of fun in seeing these two masters attacking each other. The foolish ones will take sides. They will say, oh, my master said this. Yay, clap hands. And that side, everybody frowns. Like the Indo-Pak war. Like kids, गली नुक्कड़ में कैसे झगड़ते हैं. That way they fight on the social media. Literally. A couple of places are bombed and a few people die. Here people celebrate. Wow. Here somebody dies, there they celebrate. Death is a celebration. I find that cruel, animalistic. That's not awareness. We are not talking about that. We are not taking sides. That's what I was telling in yesterday's satsang. We are not taking sides. It's a neutral path. The spiritual path is very neutral because even Shiva is neutral. Shiva doesn't condemn anybody. That's why he is called unconditional. No conditions attached. Impartial, perfectly impartial. So do we have this stance to see any issue in life impartially? Then you are close there. But if you're taking sides because you are born in a certain country, you are born in a certain religion, and you simply take sides, pakshapat. What is Arjuna being taught by Krishna? Arjuna is taking paksha. He's taking sides of his family, his guru, and his relatives, his friends. And he says, on the other side, my people are there. I'll not fight the war. And Krishna says, no, that is adharma. Your dharma is to fight the war, whoever it is, impartially. You are on the war of Dharma. You are not on the war of representing the Pandavas, your people. And it is impossible that your people are always perfect and the other side is always imperfect. That is what happens in these country wars. You see, the other side is always imperfect. Nothing good about them. You look at the attitudes, nothing good about them. And that side also, nothing good about this side. That's not the seeker zone. That is the animalistic tendencies. So beware. Whenever you get entangled in these things, be aware of what your mind is doing. Nobody cares what sides we take, whose sides we take, and all. Who's bothered? We are all just dust. Who cares of our opinion also? All these opinions that people make, who cares actually? There are so many beings that are simply yelling and shouting their lungs out. Who cares actually? At the end of the day, everybody goes back home and they will do what they have to do. That is the prakriti of this world. Be it on the news or be it in your practical life. You see, you tell anything, you do anything, ultimately people will do what they have to do. So what do you do when people do what they do? You do what you have to do. That is why I say mind your own business. That's spirituality. Coming back again and again to what am I here to do? ये सब ठीक है. Understanding and keeping ourselves amused and entertained in these things. But these are not the ultimate. You have to get back to, and for that you need awareness. Without awareness, we are nothing. That's why I'm saying awareness is God, awareness is your guru. If you don't have it, catch a God outside, catch a guru outside. But never pretend I don't need these people outside and you are not taking care of your awareness. Then you are in a very danger zone. Be careful. Just because Jiddu said you don't need a guru, Jiddu said he is talking from his experience because his inner guru is full active, remember. That is why he is talking from his state of consciousness. And he's true. What he's saying is true. From that state, you don't need. But it might not be conducive for everybody, those teachings. Jiddu's teachings are not for everybody. Devika Lotra is not for everybody. It's a selected crowd. We don't talk to everybody. Nowadays, Jiddu's words has come out. Those days, he was talking to a selective crowd and he was indoors and he had a group. That's it. He never put it in the newspaper. He did not bring it out and he did not do his prachara and publications. And he was not interested in that. He was talking to a very selective crowd. Today, it has exposed. Today, those teachings have spilled over and it's come. But so I'm saying it is not for everybody. For whom it is? For those who understand this path very clearly, awareness is my guru. And if your awareness, if you are enlightening, if you are illuminating, then this path, the direct path, is for you. So Ramana's teachings also are that way. Ramana does not praise the external guru. He does not keep people inclined on the external guru, though he does not deny it also. He's not denying it for a certain class of people who are still stuck. Because to Ramana, all the crowd came. He did not have a selected group. Remember, he did not choose his audience, Ramana. He was an open, available being to whom anybody could walk. Any path people could walk. That is why he precisely chose what he spoke to everybody. He did not speak the same language to everybody. Anybody came and asked him questions, he answered every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Never. To most of the people, he was silent. To most of the questions, he was silent. People didn't understand. Then Ashram started making rules and telling. You ask a question, when you're given an opportunity, wait for an answer. If you don't get an answer, wait. If you still don't get an answer, that's the conclusion. Khatam. Don't ask again. Because they understood his way of what he is trying to. So why he is not answering? Because to whom this direct path is not meant for, he will not answer. To people who are wanting the external objective world, who cannot be in the being, who are doers, thorough doers, 100% doers. He will never talk about being. Because, first of all, if you talk about being to doers, they will not understand it or they will screw it up. For example, if you say there is nothing to do, just be, and you talk to the wrong crowd, they will drop everything and sit at home, or they will drop even their homes and go to the jungle. They'll say we are doing some higher teachings, and that's not the meaning of the teachings. So there are dangers in that. If you tell to somebody who's before maturity, there are dangers. So they know whom to talk about because it's an open crowd. So selectively, they spoke. And to the right souls who came to Ramana Ashram, only to them, when Ramana talked in depth, that was recorded and those became books today. That is what we are sitting and contemplating, all of us today. Deep teachings and all that. So I choose my crowd here. You can see क्या क्या पापड़ बेलने पड़ते हैं. What all we need to do here to get the right crowd. Still नहीं मिलता. Simple protocol we cannot follow. Simple timings we cannot follow. There also ego comes in. As though people are doing a favor on me by coming in late or early. It is your journey, your own journey. By keeping the cams on as though it's a favor on me. No, it's a protocol. Because if you are in the right frame of mind, if you're the right crowd, then you simply do it and simply be there still. No, I've got 100 of things to do, then you're a doer. I've got 100 things to do, then you're a doer. Being is not your teaching. That's not your zone at all. That's why I say, if you can put your cam on, come. Otherwise, go. Because doers, for them, it will not suit. They cannot be the being. What are they going to listen and on Ramana's talks? For Ramana's talk, you need to be still. You need to have that maturity. You need to have reverence and respect to the path. They will bloom. अकड़ वकड़ लेके आए वो नहीं, उनके लिए नहीं. There is still time. अभी बहुत रगड़ना बाकी है. So that is how we choose that crowd. It is not for everybody. It doesn't mean ki we have access to all the secrets and divine, so anybody can come in and rejoice and take some tips and go. Nothing will happen with the tips. They will screw their life. Like I told you, they will say, oh, nothing to do. I learned some higher teaching. From tomorrow, I'm not going to do anything in life. Or I'll go to a ashram and sit somewhere. I need not do anything because I have learned something from Ramana. He said, don't do anything. Nisarga says, don't do anything. Just be. So I'm going to just be. You'll screw up. Because that's not the real meaning. The real meaning of being doesn't mean your actions stop. Actions will continue, but your ownership about that action will stop. Your doership will go. But actions will continue. That's what is being trained to Arjuna by Lord Krishna. He is telling you are not the doer. You do that job. But know that when I say you do, it is not you who's doing, it is me who's doing through you. But you continue your job. So Karan never left the Kurukshetra. Sorry, Arjuna never left the Kurukshetra. He continued there and he fought the battle. He was fully engaged in karma yoga. And we are in Kurukshetra. Karma will not stop by being. Karma will continue, but it will be like Arjuna, where he has a deep knowing that Krishna is working through me. It's not me. So that's what we are trying to understand. And that's where all these paths will come and end. It has to culminate in this only. There is no other escape. It has to finally come to surrender. Free will has to be submitted to divine will, but that cannot be submitted by force. You cannot say, God will do it, and from tomorrow I'm going to. You cannot, because again the doership will come. You'll start doing it again. So that strong doership is the challenge. Tomorrow's webinar, we are going to cover on that. and diluting that strong doership by which we understand the flow of divine will into our lives. And when divine will actually starts happening, it is much more comfortable, much more easier than we think. But the challenge is we cannot give up that doership. Many reasons. So tomorrow we're going to try and dissolve those reasons, and understand exactly what is surrender. Surrender is not saying I have surrendered. Surrender is not claiming I have surrendered. Because the ego can never surrender. That's what Ramana and Nisarga always said. Ego will never surrender. When I say I have surrendered, that I cannot surrender, it's a fake word. The moment I have surrendered is spoken, it surely shows I have not surrendered, because I is still there. Surrender means I should go. But this claimer is still there. And the claimer will sit with the claim that I have surrendered. So the I is still there present. So very sukshma, these things are very, very subtle. So subtle they are that they need very refined kind of awareness, very refined awareness. Then only that whole real teachings of Nisarga or Ramana will enter into our lives and become that. It will not come by intellectual understanding. Oh, I want to learn. Learning zone nahi hai. Learning is a complete doership zone. Learning is all about gathering information, and here being is about giving up information. Being is a zone where you have to give up all that you have hoarded. It's not easy. So, what is the practice about? Giving up this only. Slowly, you find out multiple ways, which is what we do here on the platform. So many ways, where slowly you find ways very tactfully, because the ego has to be handled very tactfully, mind has to be handled. These things are there in us. So many things are there. It has to be very tactfully, skillfully handled. You cannot just stand up and say that, no, I am done with it. You cannot. You have to handle your mind. That's what Krishna is telling about taming the mind or befriending the mind. Mind can be your greatest enemy and your greatest friend. So you have to befriend it first. That is niti. That is the tactfulness. That is the skill. Slowly we befriend the mind. Why are we befriending the mind? Because it's a very powerful tool. Mind is a very, very powerful tool. You see, all these countries are running behind the topmost countries. They always try to befriend the topmost countries, superpower countries. Nobody पंगा किसी को नहीं लेना है उनके साथ, थोड़ा दूर ही रखते. But they want to be friends with that. We want to be in good terms with the superpower countries. Why? एक तो benefit, दूसरा fear. See, both fear and greed are coming in this. Fear of losing something, fear of their powers, that they can do anything to us. So by fear, you are obliging to them. Or by greed, you know, if it is a powerful country, काम आएगा कभी तो कभी. And where there is greed and fear, that is Ashuddha Bhavana. Where anything is done on the context of fear, lobh or bhaya, greed or fear, it is Ashuddha Bhav. It is not on a very strong, it is weakness actually. So countries might claim that's a very strong point. It's not a strong, it's a weak point, very weak point. Because adhari gadbad hai. And such, see, it's not about countries, it's about us also. The personal, this is because what is countries? Countries is the representation of individuals only, right? Human minds. Human minds only become a country counterpart. Who are the leaders? They represent the human minds. That's all. So every human being has these qualities. We always want to keep in touch with people who are in power, isn't it? Even most of your path leaders and all that. Why you want to be always in touch with them and be in good books of them and don't want to offend them, because favors, कुछ तो कुछ मिलेगा, अच्छा मिलेगा, being in good books, and you're scared. Fear, there is fear of them, because what will happen, this might happen, that might happen, if you're not in good terms. That means you are still their slave. Even if you're there or not there with them, the slavery is still there. The bond is still the bondage is still there. So this thing coming from, this obligation coming from befriending, that is coming from befriending this mind. What are these successful people, whomever you call leaders, spiritual leaders or political leaders? What are they? What are they? Powerful minds. That's all. They are just a powerful mind. They know, and they have realized the potential of their mind, and they are utilizing it that way. They are executing their minds. So weaker minds are attracted to stronger minds. That is why they submit, become slaves. There is no problem in submitting, because as a learner, you have to submit. You're learning something. A student in the classroom can never say, I won't submit. No, the student has to learn. So you submit, but that is not a lifelong process, forever and ever. Remaining, when you submit properly and in the due course, grow and evolve with the teacher, that is called a student and teacher relationship, where there is submission, there is surrender. But if there is no evolution, what is evolution? You have to go beyond. You have to become independent. You have to become the teacher. What is the teacher's state of mind? Independent, free, not clinging to anything. So the student has to learn. Then what are we learning from the teacher? What is the subject? To remain slaves? Is that the subject being taught? And which teacher will teach you that? To remain a slave? Because teacher teaches their expertise, what they are in, where they have reached. They are teaching them, others, what they have. They are not a slave, right? Then why will they teach slavery? They are free, so they will teach freedom. So there is submission to the teacher. I'm not saying there is no submission. There is surrender to the teacher. There is there. But evolution and progress has to happen over a period of time. But if people just remain whole life there, not progressing, not moving on their grades, still in the first standard or fifth standard and stuck there forever, and they call that submission, that's not submission, that's slavery. उसको मैं गुलामी कह रहा हूं, पढ़े रहना वहां पे. Then you're not learning something. You're gone to some comfort zone. And you're not learning from the teacher. Or the teacher is not teaching, whatever that reason. Teacher is not teaching, or the student is not learning. Something is wrong there. Because if the teacher is teaching or the student is learning, evolution has to happen, completion has to happen. So that is the surrender. That is the right surrender. It has to happen. But as that the power and the grace of that surrender, the benefits are receiving the status of what the teacher is in, that state of consciousness, whatever they are in. And what is the state of the teacher's or guru's consciousness? They are empty. They're empty. Ramana is empty. Ramana is completely blank. So those who go to Ramana, what are they going to achieve? Blankness. Let us be clear. If you are clear about the goal, it is very easy to reach the goal. I put a post in Hindi right today. I don't remember what was that. There's something similar. And that's the real message of today, what I'm trying to tell. Clarity. You cannot settle down until you have clarity. लक्ष्य स्पष्ट हो, तो मंजिल तक पहुंचना सहज हो जाता है. लक्ष्य स्पष्ट हो, तो if the goal is clear. So student and teacher relationship is first clarity. That is why we have only clarity sessions here maximum. Clarity ho ki what are you doing and where are you approaching? What is your goal? Because if we do not know the goal, we will only be slaves. And if you know the goal, it is to be free, then you are watching the consciousness of that teacher. You are admired, you are inspired by that teacher. And then you can follow that path very easily. For that, you need crystal clear clarity on what do you want from spirituality or that particular teacher. Every kind of teachers are available in this spiritual market. You can buy literally. But whether you buy or don't buy or you get it free or whatever, the goal should be very, very clear on what you want out of that. Because please understand, not all teachers are equipped to give that ultimatum. Not all paths are equipped, but all paths are precious to take you close to that. What Ramana is giving, no other paths can give you. It's not because I am following, I'm telling something. Actually, I am following because I have found there is something that what I am seeking is there. That is how I have caught that because I am clear with my goal, what I want. And other paths cannot give me that. And it's not that I've just brushed and just done my. No, I have invested my time, energy, and life in all this. And through deep studies and contemplation, I know what I want. I don't know what the world wants. Maybe what the world wants, they will get it. Mubarak ho. But what I want is not that. What I want is what Ramana can give. That's because I have clarity. I know this is what I'm seeking. So when you know what you're seeking, that objective will come to you. The rest of the formalities doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the guru is there in the body, not there in the body. Ramana is not in the body. But I can vouch. He can still teach you. Clarity. Clarity should be there on what we want. It will come. That is God consciousness. God consciousness, which is there, divine consciousness, supreme consciousness will gift you with anything and everything because it has the power to do that. Maybe our minds cannot understand it. It's okay. But it has the power to give you whatever you want on what you choose of what you want. And to choose what you rightly want, you should have clarity. To have clarity, you need awareness. Otherwise, how are you going to get clarity? That is why so much of my emphasis I give on awareness itself. Because if awareness is not there, you choose the best of gurus also, you'll still be a dumbo. I've seen this. Even the best of people who claim they are there somewhere on they can have all the illusions, they can have still all the flaws, they can still have all the obstacles in their mind, lack of clarity. They can still be pretending, they can still assume, they can still be caught up in illusions. Not necessarily the best of guru can do that. The best of awareness can do that. And for awareness, you need grace. See where we are coming? What did I say? To reach somewhere, you need a goal. For a goal, you need clarity. For clarity, you need awareness. For awareness, you need grace. For grace, you need effort. Yoga Vasishtha. Effort will lead you to grace. Grace will make you put effort now in the right direction. That's the power of grace. Gift of grace. Effort is random. Anybody can do effort. Even a bull puts effort in pulling the bullock cart. Even a coolie does a lot of effort. I'm not talking about that effort. Where to put that effort? How to put that effort? You need grace. That grace does that. So how are we all brought to this path? To Ramana's path or Arunachala? Or don't think it is you. Don't never assume it is you. Don't even think of it. That is pure doership. There is something in the background that's happening, and that's grace, my dear ones. Trust that, rever that. Grace is working in our lives. Grace only carries us. Who's the one who decides who will be with whom forever? Till what time? Nobody is there with anyone forever, by the way. Nobody. But who decides that? I will be here so much time. I will be doing this after this and after this. You see, most of our life events are not decided by us. It simply happens. It is simply unfolding. One thing after the other is just happening to us. It's coming. And when it comes, we realize something. And then we put our doership on that. Things come our way. Investigate very clearly and see. It simply happens to us. One by one simply comes our way. From where some things happen, we don't know. Some coincidence happen and we start following that. But we keep claiming, I did this, I did that, I went here, I went there, I put my effort, I did this and I got this. That is this illusion that has to be broken now. From moving from doing to being, these things have to be opened. Your awareness should be able to see how this life is unfolding, how grace is acting in our life. Because when you start seeing grace is acting in our life, the ego will tame down, the humility will start coming up, the I will start dying down. Because this I is the root cause of all the problems. This I want to impose, this I wants to take care of itself, this I wants to have this will to do this and that. I wants control over self, control over others. And wherever there is control, there is disappointment. Because control means there is an expectation. Why will somebody try to control somebody? Because there is some expectation of an outcome. If I do this, I will get something. That then only they will try to control. Look at the world powers. Why are these countries trying to control each other? Why are they controlling so much? Think about it. There is something needed, some expectation, so that they will fulfill that expectation of what they are seeking there. And when that expectation is not fulfilled, there is disappointment. Thus, there is anger. You see all these angers? All world leaders angry with each other, countries angry with each other, the countrymen angry with each other. Expectations. Where is that expectation coming from? Life should go the way I want. It starts from an individual. It becomes a collective consciousness that the group starts feeling life should go the way we want. And then a leader manifests for them, which becomes a voice. And then that leads the whole mass. One community against the other. That's the cause of all these wars. That's the cause of boundaries. In the God's world, where is boundaries? Who created boundaries? Man. Who's securing and maintaining the boundaries? Man. Who's defending their boundaries? Man. Who's trying to invade those boundaries and get a larger share that side and this side? Man. Endless chase of man. So man's desire is not country wise. That is a very large. I am telling you, if you investigate, we all individuals are like this only. We want to intrude into somebody's boundaries. Not at that level, at this level only, individual level also you see. It is not thrift here in what it is. It wants to control another being. It wants to control the family members. It wants to control the families. It wants to control their offices, colleagues. He wants to dominate. Why? Because there is a need that life should go the way I want. So imposition happens. And naturally, others will defend. They will say, no, life should go the way I want. So imposition happens from there. And there's a war between two individuals. Both are trying to secure their positions. There are deep expectations from each other. Why are they both fighting like this? The strong doership that I, who can be boundaryless, who can be controlless, who doesn't want to dominate, who's just free, no boundaries, only an avaduta, because there is no ego, there is no doership. The doer only is gone. Doesn't want to do anything to expand. It is very happy and satisfied with itself. That is this path. You see, Ramana, what did he do to expand his mighty spiritual kingdom? Did he open branches around the world? Did he create campaigns, loudspeaker campaigns? Did he distribute pamphlets? Did he advertise himself in the newspapers those days? Did he create a very cute, clever campaign? Some plans in the ashram so that people come and take back his word and somehow they go and spread the flame. Today, all this happens, right? Today, you see, it is loaded with only campaigns. It is only expansion plans. Who wants to expand? The one who is not expanded. The one who is limited wants to expand. Ramana is limitless. Where will we expand? Where we which what is there to capture? Everything is his own. So these states of Avadhutas, they are very thrift. You look at Nityananda, you look at Nisargadatta Maharaj and all. Kahan campaigns? Nisargadatta Maharaj, no advertisements. Slowly the world is losing all that. But anyways, even if it loses or what, the whole question is, what do I want? If I want the right kind of things in life, I will be attracted to that. Simple as that. And God will give that. Law of attraction only will create that. So you cannot even complain and say the world is going corrupt. What to do in a world that is no, it is all available. If the spirit is right, it is available. It will be made eligible. It will be made to reach those who are worthy for it. The question is, am I worthy or not? I am not working on my worthiness. I'm saying the whole world is unworthy, but I'm not working on my worthiness. So if I am worthy enough, I will get what I want. Most of the time, this unworthiness that we receive from the world is grace. Whenever you don't get anything from this world, it is grace. That is the only way the human ego can be explained. My dear one, it is not there what you're seeking. There is no other way to tell the human ego. No amount of thrashing, no amount of cajoling, no amount of good words, kind word, loving word, threatening words will make the mind ego understand this, that it is not there. So only grace can do that. And grace will give you a lot of pinches, failures, disappointments, pain, suffering, weeping. What is that weeping and crying? Death of ego is happening. It is melting into tears. That's all. No big deal. Pain is inevitable when it comes to deeper truths. Take this for guarantee. the deeper you go, the more pains you will be subjected to. That pains is not coming as a byproduct of what you're looking for, but that pain is coming as a grace so that you can reach that which you are seeking, without which you will not go. So, utter disappointment in this world is a very common thing to seekers. You can see my posts, I keep posting on that only. The disappointments, the failures of this world to deliver whatever you're looking forward to in this world for. It will not deliver. That is the only time you can turn your attention from out to in. There is no other way. You can go in. Then there is so much of circus and mela going outside. Why will you turn within? Mind will be always stimulated in the external dramas of life. So until those dramas pinch you, you are never going to turn within. Those who can turn within out of maturity and saying it is pinching will quietly do that. Those whose egos do not allow them will go on crying and weeping and crying and weeping and complaining and brooding. Maturity is not there. The more you cry, it is a signal, I am not going to learn this easily, O Lord. मैं भी जिद्दी हूं. I am also stubborn. I am not going to give up so easily this world. I am going to fight my life for it, even if I lose my battle. No problem. Even if I have all bruises all over me, 1,000 arrows stuck. You look like that jiddi warrior who wants to win the war. It's very crazy if you see. You pierce bullets into me, you put arrows into me, I will not stop. I will die a death here, but I will not stop. And who gets what? See, those who die and go, who's there to care about them? It's all good dialogues. वो कितना बिलक के मर रहा है? That person is dying in pain, and that person is dying in incompletions. What is the great thing about boasting about that? Oh, they died for us. बेचारा उसका हालत उसको पता, उसकी आत्मा को पता क्या what is happening to that soul. We might be celebrating a great glorification. No glories are going to have because it's going to wander. It's going to come back because so much of incompletion. It is gone in misery. There's nothing so heroic about it. All those in body consciousness will be very heroic because it's a great deed that's happened. We die that way, refusing to learn. And we are also not less. We are not going to give up. One after the other, I'll struggle, I'll cry, I'll weep my whole life, and I'll write autobiographies of how much I cried, how painful my life has been. People told me many times, you write so well every time, you should write books. It's a good thing, actually. So many subjects to write. And I know it will be a hit. I'm sure. I'm not boasting about it, but I know because I am skillful in that. Somebody told write your autobiography. मैं बोला मेरा दुखड़ा दूसरे को already people are crying. What is there now to read that crying story? And because mine is a crying story only. Whole life is crying only. So what's big deal in that? Why should I write how much I cried and why I cried, how deeply I cried, how much pain, how much pain? How is that going to help anybody else? Somebody else will look at that and they will get motivated. Oh, I am crying for a good reason now. This guy also has cried. Okay, let us also cry. It's a good thing. It's not going to help in any ways. No use. So what is that? That the doer is struggling to keep itself alive. That is called suffering. It's not giving up. So my free will only. All the crying, suffering is that free will. I will do it. Those who just raise up their hands, and they will not, it's not easy to raise up your hands like that. Because there is one way to raise up your hand, that is in surrender, out of fear or helplessness. That is not surrender. There is a surrender actually, even by what the army does on the war front. They surrender because the enemy is too powerful. It is not that because they are powerful. It is because they have become weak and the enemy is powerful, you surrender. That is helplessness. That is not real surrender. Surrender means love. Surrender is faith, love, trust. हर हाल में खुश is what? Being blissful. हर हाल means what? I surrender to every situations of life. And there is a happiness in that surrender. खुशी है उसके अंदर. ये दुखी वाला surrender है. ये गुस्सा वाला है, आवेश वाला. मौका मिला, if opportunity is given, that surrender they will turn it. Let us say the army has surrendered or a military person has surrendered. They will be quiet because they are overpowered. But let's say हालात ऐसे कुछ बदल जाते हैं and these people have some power or ammunition or something, they will kill. The surrender will kill. That is so. Is that a surrender? It's not surrender. Those are all tactics that cannot be used on the path. But many of us actually talk about surrender in this manner. It's a very cunning surrender we do. Tactful surrender. I have surrendered to God. I have surrendered to Guru. There is no surrender actually. Many surrender to the Guru just to please the Guru. Many show off. I have surrendered. They demonstrate again and again. All the demonstrators are the वो नतमस्तक होते रहते ना हर जगह में जाके पैर पड़ते रहते पैर पड़ते रहते पैर पड़ते रहते. If the Guru is not looking, and still if you can do Dandavat Sashtang Pranam, then that's true surrender. A Guru who is lost, who doesn't have body consciousness, who's not even looking, is not even aware whether you are there. उसको जाके surrender करो, then you can say you are surrendered because nobody is there to watch you. That's true surrender. That's coming from your heart. But just because he should look, he should see, that's not surrender. I've seen all these dramas. That's not surrender. But you can pretend, you can feel, oh, I'm the greatest devotee, I'm the greatest. No, that's where you need awareness, because awareness will tap you from inside. Whom are you fooling? It will ask. Because there is nobody else who will ask you that. And you will not listen also. If somebody asks, you will slap. Tu kaun be puchne wala? But your awareness, you cannot slap. It's your own awareness. That's you. So that thing is much, much needed. It is a must on this path. Without that, you cannot progress on this path. Without pure awareness, Shuddha Bhavana, you cannot progress on this path. So if at all we are preparing to go deeper into the path, this tool has to be sharpened. The tool of awareness. Then it becomes easier to move to the path of being. That might take a lot of janmas, it might take a lot of years, and that's okay. For many, it is easier to simply understand this and they can simply fall into that. For some, it will be a struggle. But you should never compare these two and say, oh, that person is so easy. Or the person who is easily surrendered should never say, it is easy here, what are you doing? It's so easy, look, it's only so much. No, never compare. Because your journey is different. How many janmas you must have done so many things? You're a ripe soul. Somebody else might not be there. So never compare also on the journey. We have to find our own stuff only. So when I say about Jiddu and Osho talking, about each other. Osho is perfectly right when he says that Jiddu says Guru is not needed. No teacher is needed. But then Osho pointed out, even to tell you that you need a teacher, right? And to follow that, the student has to listen to the teacher. So Guru has appeared there automatically. Whomever you listen to and follow, that's your Guru. Very sharp point. So Jiddu is telling you don't need a teacher. He's actually preaching. He's actually teaching. He's teaching that you don't need a teacher. That's a very excellent point that he pointed out. And Osho even pointed out that's the danger that I'm trying to say. Because he said a teacher is needed. Osho said, because Osho was a teacher, he was a guru. He has his valid point. He said teacher is needed. Because otherwise, how many of Jiddu's followers have become Jiddu? Because all of them felt we don't need a teacher. And so they wouldn't listen to anyone. And inner awareness is not awakened. This Osho did not tell, I'm telling. Inner awakening, the awareness is not awakened. So those whose inner awareness is not awakened need a guru. Those who's fully awakened do not need it. So what does this tell us? It is not a generalized rule. So it should not be generalized. And that's the reason I've been telling for years. Whoever belongs where, belong there. If you need a path, is the path is go, do that. If you feel it's not needed, that also is true. Whatever you believe in, that is it. Whatever your inner state of consciousness, it will guide you. I need a guru, I don't need a guru. It will guide you from inside. But at the same time, Osho pointed out very nicely, just by pretending you don't need anybody, you're not going to become enlightened. How many of them became? No one became. But at the same time, Jiddu was also wise to point out, having a guru also does not ensure you'll get enlightened. Because Osho's whole gang, how many of them are realized? Osho had a very big gang, very big, huge. Compared to Jiddu, it was nothing. So success rate, enlightenment should have been more there, right? There also nahi. Why? Jiddu pointed out. Because sometimes when guru is there, people can simply go and lazily put all the burden on their guru and say, now I have a guru, everything will be taken care of. I am supposed to be surrendered. Here I have surrendered. They are not surrendered, but they pretend I have surrendered. Guru will take care of everything now. Guru will take care of my ego. Guru will take care of my self-realization. Now this is the easy path for me. Many of them go to gurus out of the sheer laziness. They are good for nothing on the path. So they attach somewhere, put the burden there, put the release there, and they call that devotion. They call that surrender. And they are the ones who will keep singing. Wahi karenge, wahi hai sab kuch. They only will do. And if you look closely into their life, they are the sufferers. When you say Guru will do everything, Guru will do everything, what are you saying? My doership is gone. Now the Guru is the doer, isn't it? He's the doer. I'm not the doer. But you look very closely focused into all these people's life who say that they are more the doers. They will keep saying Guru does everything, but look at them. Every minute they are doing something. They are fully in charge of their life. They want to control their life. They want to make it this way, that way. बोलने के लिए गुरु कर रहे हैं, करने के लिए वो कर रहे हैं. So these are all the pitfalls. These are all the pitfalls. It might look very lucrative. It is not. Why these things are happening? No awareness. We are coming to the same point. If awareness is there, you can simply see this. Why are people not able to see it? Forget about others. In themselves, they are not able to see. Why? Awareness ही नहीं है. What are they operating on? Complete mind zone. Mind is very cunning, I'm telling you. Never ever trust your mind. I was listening to Premanand ji. One video he said, "Man pe kabhi vishwas mat karna." So brilliant. Never trust your mind. Even if it is something great, it will give you such a powerful statement and what do you call that? Proof and validation that what you feel and think is right. And the very next moment पलट देगा. Money, अपना money अपने को हाथ दे देता है, दूसरे का छोड़ो. Have you seen this? Your own mind will flicker sometimes. Sometimes it will think like this, sometimes it will think that way. When that happens, only you say, I'm confused. I'm stressed. Where the stress come? Conflict. एक रोड नहीं है उसको, एक सही पता नहीं है उसको, सही गलत पता ही नहीं है. That is why it is confused. It is stressed. It is always on alert. Mind is active all the time, like an animal. Animal का कैसा होता है? It's ready. It's always in fear of danger. I've seen my cat. Its ears, if you have seen cats, it is like this, right? Ears, it will be moving like this all the time. देखना कभी भी. What it is doing, it is catching the minutest of इधर थोड़ा हो जाए, इधर देखेगा. Either something. Why they do that? Because they are on constant vigilance, alert. They are in the self-defending mechanism. They're trying to protect themselves. It is a self-defense mechanism. They are alert and they're very, very alert. Even if some sound or something comes, they can move like this. They can jump. They will protect themselves. What happens in that is there are two fears: rational fear, irrational fear. Rational fear is okay, there is a real danger and threat. You get scared of it, you protect your body. That is called rational fear. It is very natural. But then there's something called irrational fear. Irrational fear means there is no actual danger and still you have a reflex action. There is no actual danger. कुछ होने वाला नहीं वहां पे. But the mind projects that something is going to happen and you react to it. That is called irrational fear. The cat is that way. It has got irrational fear. It is not rational fear. There is no threat. Even if I clap my hand, it will jump. That is how our minds are. It is constantly on that alert system. That is why this mind gets overtaxed. It can't sleep. Have you seen? It can't rest. Why it cannot rest? Because alert system. Dangers. It is constantly ruminating on some threat. Mind. Have you seen this? Something will happen, this will happen, that will happen. ऐसा हुआ तो कैसा, वैसा हुआ तो क्या? Only ruminating continuously. Actually, there is no projected fear, no projected danger there. It is creating itself all the time. This what, that what, that. It is coming from past experiences. So it is simply living in chaos, conflict, fear. And that inner conflict creates hell lot of problems in life, including health issues. तो वो अलग ही बात. It will manifest into health issues, life issues. The regular life issues, it will imbalance. Regular simple things of life, it will imbalance. You will not be motivated to go to the market and buy something. Forget about living your dreams, following your passions. Simple things, because all these things will make this mind so foggy, brain fog. Why am I talking this? Because I'm talking on the subject only. I'm talking about doership. This is the result of doership. These are the consequences of doership. When you take life completely in your hands, you become like the cat. So that's free will. What are we talking about? Being. Means giving up this doership. Not all of a sudden you cannot give it, but at least realizing the falsehoodness, realizing the threats, realizing the consequences, and realizing the toll it has taken on our life by living in constant I am the doer. For that, we have to shift slowly and realize that I'm really not the doer. It is not that we are now creating a new belief. Oh, too much of problems with I am the doer. So, a new belief. Let us start believing God does everything. It is not a belief that God does something. It is the truth. And if it is the truth, you have to investigate how is he doing it. Here we are people who are introspecting. We are not believers. Because somebody said, God is the doer. Krishna said, God is the doer. So I love Krishna. I have respect for, I'll believe him. No, don't do that. Find out why did Krishna say that? And how does he say that? For that, you read the Bhagavad Gita properly, you'll understand the whole science. And that is what he is talking. How the mind is the best friend and the worst enemy. He is giving you all the skills how to handle it. Like all these mystics are saying, don't trust the mind. Premananji Maharaj is one person that almost everybody follows. There's a lot of power in his words, and he lives by more than his words. He lives by that. That is why his words are very authentic. You can see the authenticity there. It is not just a on stage proclamation. He talks a lot about non-doership. He talks a lot about the power of God. So some people might not believe in God, but I'm not talking about God. See, even atheists know there is something that is more intelligent than them. They know that. It takes little common sense to just sit and watch your own body for at least 10 minutes very deeply, and you will find out there is some power that is running this body. I am not running this body. Where am I running? What is running in my body? What is running in my body? None of the secretions I'm doing, no digestive process I'm involved. My whole digestive system is working on its own. Right? And the digestion starts from salivating here. Do I salivate? Do I use the saliva? And I know the science of how the saliva is going to break down the enzymes that are coming here. I have no clue about what these enzymes are also, but still it is taking care. I'm not educated about my body system, but still it is taking care. The king and the beggar, both same systems. Not that the king has got special saliva or special enzymes and this way. No, it's the same function that's doing. The heart is beating on its own. I am not doing any effort to beat. The lungs are breathing on its own. I am not making any effort to breathe. All my body system, including my circulation of blood, pumping the good blood and taking out the impure blood, purifying that blood in the heart. What a system! Purification system. I have nothing to worry about it, and still it's taking care of. The whole electrical impulses that it's shooting from my brain, all the impulses, so beautifully it's handling. I want to scratch my eyes now. Do I have to plan? Do I need any plan to say, oh, my dear hand, now go and scratch? I am doing something else, but my hand is automatically scratching that. What takes care of the system? This is what we are calling as God consciousness. There is something more intelligent in us. If you just look at this body, you will come to know the way it is handling the whole thing. That's why I'm saying we must investigate. Don't believe. Why I'm not the doer? God does it. How does it do it? See it. See it in my own life. Forget the world, how he created the world, the moon, stars. Too far. See this Brahmand, Pindand. Explore your own body. Can any science make even one cell that is in my body? There are trillions of cells. Cells, you can't even see it. It's so microscopic. And they are a unit by itself, intelligent. Every cell has a brain. It has intelligence. Every cell, trillions of them, they are working together. For whom? For you. To keep this going. Because this is a tool by which we are having all these kind of experiences. So many experiences we have in life. But do we sit and contemplate on this machine, how it is working? So many cells are birthing, so many cells are dying, no count of it. Who knows which is supposed to die, which is not supposed to die? The way the cells are defending, are attacking any extreme things that enters, any foreign body that enters. One dust goes into your mouth, you cough. Where do we use our head that I must cough? Oh, there is a dust. You don't even know a dust has gone in, huh? But your system can detect it. One dust in your nose, you'll sneeze. One dust in your throat, you'll cough. Can we keep account of all this? What is this intelligence that's running here? Just by being humble and meditating on yourself, you'll taper down to the intelligence in your body. You'll start bowing to it. That is the meaning of आपको दिखाओ आपको बजो. आपके भीतर आपके राम आप होके रहते हैं. The Lord Ram that you are creating wars to build a temple, own a land, do so much of hangama. That being is not there. That being is in you. आपके राम आपके भीतर आप होके रहते हैं. आपको ध्याओ आपको बजो. आपको ही बजो आपको ही ध्याओ आप पर ही ध्यान करो. मेडिटेट ऑन योरसेल्फ. खुद को ही बजो भजन करो खुद पे. Pray to yourself. That intelligence which is running this, that is how we turn within. And the moment you start looking at these aspects, you have begun your journey on being. The journey towards being and non-doership has begun. Till then, you will feel I am the doer. I do everything, including eating and shitting. That also we feel. We have the ego of that also. In the retreat, I was telling everything is handled by itself. You don't have to worry. What do you do with your body? You don't do anything to do it. Even to maintain it. If somebody said, no, I eat. I decide and eat. I said, sorry, boss. You can't eat until you're hungry. Can you create hunger? Can you decide at this time I'm going to get hungry and this time I'm going? No, you have to wait for it to get hungry. Hunger also is not in your hand. When it will happen, uski marji body ki system ke hisab se. When hungry signals come to your brain, then you start salivating or you get that pang. I want to eat something. That desire also is not yours. What are we claiming in our life? Nothing. Nothing is ours. Nothing do we do here. If you actually sit and contemplate, we are not doing any damn thing with this body. Even eating is not in, even shitting is not in your hand. Can you say at this time I'm going to pee or I'm going to the toilet? You can't. You have to wait for it. Sweating is not in your hands. What is left there? Sleeping is not in your hand. You lie on the bed and you cannot say at this particular time I'm going to conquer. You have to lie down and wait there for your sleep to come. That also is not in your hand. When you wake up, also it's not there. You don't know. You keep waking up at different times without the alarm, of course. There also you don't know exactly when you are going to wake up. Waking is not in our hands. Sleeping is not in our hand. Eating is not in our hand. Secretions are not in our hand. Elimination is not in our hands. Birth is not in our hand. You don't know when you're going to get born. How you got thrown into this body, you don't know. One day you came to know you arrived. And that too after many years of arrival. When you arrived also, you had no consciousness, no awareness. Babies don't have it. By the time you became aware, you can't even remember when you became aware that I am here. Check out. When you will die, you don't know. When you are going to go, then what is in my hand? What we are boasting of free will, free will, free, क्या free will है इसके अंदर? कुछ भी free नहीं है. This is called divine will. Something is programmed, something is happening by a certain methodology. That will which is there, that will is not in my hand. I can see everything what I gave examples. It's not in my hand. It's simply happening. You start seeing that, you will understand divine will is playing in my life. So what are we trying to say here is, if this divine will knows how to maintain this human body, which the best of science cannot maintain on its own, then we must understand it can handle life by itself. Look outside. What is in man's hand? Look at all the planets. Look at all the creation. What is man's contribution? Man is claiming, right? We did this, we did this. They come and simply they appeared on earth, right? They didn't plan to come on earth. They simply appeared. One day, like we are children, they become aware, I am here. And then you say, okay, I have a plan. I have a plan to live my life this way. I want to become a doctor, an engineer, a teacher, or whatever. But that comes later. Same way, these people arrive on earth, earthlings, and then we say we are earthlings. And then they begin quarreling. This is my land, this is your land. Bap Kamal. They were thrown here. Nobody created. We never created this place. And we own it. We fight for it. We destroy it. And then we say we have expanded. Now we are going to conquer that planet, this planet. एक तो बर्बाद कर दिया इधर, अब दूसरे planet को यही संभाल नहीं जा रहा. अब they want to conquer another planet. The greed of man. And they say our science is so much. We have discovered 9 planets. Oh, wait a minute. There are some more planets. Oh, wait a minute. There is one more galaxy. Are if the human minds open up to the infiniteness, it will blow up. It doesn't even know. छोटा सा उसका जो investigation है, it will keep claiming and boasting and booming so much. We, I, man. Man's ego, this is. And the Vedas and all already claim, Upanishads and all claim that there are billions and billions of universes. We are talking about one universe and boasting so much about it. There are billions of universes. Think about it. Now the question comes, if you see how this one universe, whatever limited universe, जहां तक हमारा expand होता है, horizon, consciousness, if you look at this little carefully, do you think we are running it? Man is running it. Something is running the universe. No two planets collide amongst each other. No accidents happen there. Precision. The earth is spinning at speeds thousands of miles per hour spinning. And this whole ball giant is moving across the space at such a rapid speeds that if you think about it, we should all be flying out. But are we flying? No. What is holding us? Something called gravity. Wow. Who invented gravity? Cratchit. What is this mystic dynamism that is? In one of the retreat, I told we had given that in one of the webinars also, the higher practice, it's still there on the courses. The higher practice of SI. In that 8, I don't know if you all remember still, 8 practices were given. You have to practice the 8 constantly. In that one practice was awe, Vismaya. Shiva Sutras talk about Vismaya. Vismaya means the awe, the wonder. You keep looking at anything and everything and say, wow. That's what I'm trying to do right now. When we are looking at investigating, you simply say, wow. You look at your heart and you say, wow. Because you're looking at the functions. You look at your nose, you look at your eyes, you look at anything. You look at your eyelid. The way it blinks, no control over it. It is blinking and it is keeping the eyes moist. And at that time, that amount of tears are secreted from the eye gland, tear gland, just to keep it moist. What is this technology? Can anybody even reciprocate this? The way humans are created in human bodies by two elements coming from two bodies and creating one life like this magnificent life. Nobody has any clue what's happening inside there. All that people can do is have a sexual intercourse and leave it, and they don't even know whether something is going to happen. That also is not in their hand. Look, we want a child. Does that guarantee you a child? No. We are going to produce a child. Free will. Okay, you produce. At the moment, what you can do, your act is limited, but after that, you have to surrender. You don't know. I have put a seed. I don't know what that seed is going to become. Whether it will become a male or it will become a female, whether it is a healthy one, whether it is an unhealthy one, you don't know. You just lottery ticket out. So where is free will here? You don't know it is going to be a stillborn child. Nothing. We are at the. If you look very closely, we are simply at the mercy of this divine will. We simply keep boasting. Free will, free will, free will. You're simply at mercy every morning. You don't know if you sleep, you are going to wake up in the morning. What free will? You don't know how your day is going to end. Whole day how it is going to. You might plan 1,000 things, but you don't know how much. And most of the time, it doesn't go according to your plan. Where is free will then? That little thing that goes according to our free will, we will say success. Like manifestation. As a funny zone. I want to create this, I want to create that. And we create it and we say, I did it. I manifested it. Good, you did it. Through your mind only you did it. You manifested it through your mind. But there is a power that made you do that because there is a destiny that is running in you. You are destined to get that. So that is why you got that idea that I must create it. Where did this idea come from? Investigate. You say, I produced the idea. Okay, fine, find out. Where and when did you sit and manufacture that desire? You will have no idea. You might say it is my desire, but you don't know the origin of that desire. Find out. When did this appear to you? When did I sit and wove this idea? You'll say, no, it was there in me. Where did it come from? Your destiny planted that into your head. I have to move in that direction. So you start getting inclination towards that. Why does some children who are born and then they are growing, why do they say, I want to become a doctor only? Or I want to become a lawyer? I want to become a pilot. Why do they have that inclination? Why different inclination? Because according to their prarabdha, they are getting that kind of vasanas. Vasanas are generated out of karma. You have certain bija, some seeds of that karma. That kind of vasanas are generated in you. And that vasanas you run after. That desire starts coming up. That vasana start coming. The desire is created from there. That is the origin. So where is it coming? From karma. Karma bija creates that desires in you. And the desires spring out. And when that desires spring out, you say, I have to manifest it. Okay, you go ahead and manifest it. When you say you manifested, you say, I did it. You didn't do it. That's your destiny. Then you say, no, some I did, and it didn't manifest. That is the suffering that you had incurred. That is the destiny that you had programmed in you. That I will not get it, and this is the way I'm going to suffer for it. Because give and take. I gave something and did something in the similar manner. So that pain or that suffering or whatever you call that disappointment, that's disappointment is my suffering. That is what we call as negative karma, right? Negative karma fal. So that's in my destiny. That's my bija. So to give me that suffering, it will create this kind of a desire and it will create a disappointment there. And then you say, I don't get it. So what you don't get it, you would never see that as divine will. But what you create, you say it is my free will. Wrong. Good, bad, ugly, whatever is there, it is the outcome of karma that's happening. And this only mature seekers can listen. Others will be disappointed. So if this offends you, this disheartens you, you're not yet ready for the higher teachings. That's how you come to know. Because those who are deep seekers, they know this whole thing. Because they are investigators, they are not believers. Because whatever I'm saying right now, they will have the guts to investigate on and then say, yeah, it makes sense. The others will outright reject it. They will run. Main chala. I'm leaving this session. I'm leaving this platform only. Good for nothing. I had come here thinking that these things will happen. And my life is going to go according to my way. And this guy is talking something weird. And this guy is talking completely against his guru. His guru is to say, you can create it and you will create it. You are the creator of your own destiny. And this guy says, there is no creator. You are not the creator. He is the creator. What is this confusion about? It is not a confusion. It is not two different paths. It is simply a progression. In the start, it begins like that. In the start, you are becoming aware, because when you are becoming aware, when you are nurturing yourself, you are not told the higher secret directly. When a child is being put into school, can you give that child this kind of a lecture? Hey, don't worry that God is going to take it. No, it is being taught. That program also, the teaching, the training also is the part of that prarabdha only. It is slowly developing in this world to play a game now. The game of free will. Play of consciousness is all a game of free will. Because if there is no free will, please understand there is no game. The whole play of consciousness is happening because of free will, this illusion of free will. That is called Anamala. Anamala is the illusion of free will. That's the ego, Aham. Anamala. That gives the feeling that I am going to do, I am going to play, I am going to move around in this manner. Anamala rises, and from there the play begins. That's how it starts and begins. And as we nurture and mature on this path, so in the start, this has to be given. Like Rama, Lord Rama is disappointed and he's sitting at home saying that I saw this whole world, I am not interested, lost my interest completely. So he's closed his room and sometimes feeling even suicidal and he wants to die. Young Rama at the age of 15. That time, the Raj Guru, Vishwamitraji, comes and then he advises Rama. He says, no, that's not the right approach. You must put efforts. And he instigates that idea that effort must be done there. Early stages to get that message. So, to even come to this, what are we doing right now? We are talking about higher truths. We are talking about divine will, isn't it? But are we not imposing free will here right now? We are working through free will here. We are putting efforts here to speak, to understand, to practice, so that we can understand the higher truth. So, my guru, when he's teaching, he's doing that. He's training people on that end. Like Ram was told, you have to put efforts. You cannot sit like that and get there. You continue because you have come here as a part of karma to play the game, to be contented, to complete, to feel a sense of contentment through whatever you are trying to achieve. And in that run, I'll be contented if I buy this, I'll be contented if I have this, I'll be contented if I go there, do this. All that dreams make you run, and chase. And in that whole chase, what you're doing, you'll go on creating this, ultimately to realize that nothing can give you happiness. For that, you have to take destiny. You are the creator of your own destiny. Yeah, you see how the powers are. You play around. You finish your karmas. Because without finishing that, you cannot complete the whole sequence. So first complete that. At that is not the stage to even talk about divine will. That is absolutely not the time to talk about divine will. Only lazy bums will be created then, not sadhaks. Like I told you, no, it is not preliminary. It should not be told. First, give completions, because that is the purpose human body is being taken. Human body means desire, bunch of desire. Desires का गोला है इसके अंदर. That is why it has come. And you cannot curb that desire. You cannot suppress that desire and say, I want moksha. No, it will start pouncing on you. It will make you restless. So the Guru says, complete it first. Finish it off. Finish all the petty things in life. Finish. Create, create, create. Bhog. But one day you will come to know. It is not there. And that day you know you are ripe. That ripeness cannot come without doing that. Without experiencing the world, it will not come. You have to experience the world. Only when you experience the world, you will know it is not in the world. You will meet many circumstances, many situations, many people which are not right for you. And mark this, until you meet the wrong ones, you will never know who's the right one. Until you meet the wrong situations, you will never know which is the right one. Until you meet the wrong people, you will know you will never know who are the right people. Contrast है वो, duality का खेल है. So until you experience the world, you will not know what is beyond the world. You have to get fed up with the world. Then only you will think higher. Otherwise, why will you think higher? You'll remain happy here. So go and pursue your happiness in this world. Oh, it is in that car, it is in this house, it is in this wife, it is in that child, it is in that business, it is in this future, it is in this glamour, that status, this fame. Go achieve it. And slowly you'll see, even after getting all this, you're not happy. Then you'll start pondering, what is it? But without this completion, very difficult. So that's what my Guru is teaching. And a large collective consciousness is based on that. A large group, large percentage, very few percentage who are ready to go beyond. But at least वो बड़ा बड़ा बोलते हैं ना मच्छी, वो you have to catch in the net. You have to tame down the numbers. You have to filter. ये filtration process है. So in that, those who get filtered are the right ones. The same Guru who taught that you are the creator of your destiny, everything is in your hands, you can create it. He also said, Jis vidhi rakhe, us vidhi rahi. A time will come, he had told this very clearly, a time will come in every seeker's life, maybe this Janma or some other Janma, whenever. But that time will definitely come when seeker will say, Jo Shivagya. Jo Shivagya means thy will be done, your wish. Teri raza, meri raza. Whatever you feel is right, that is mine. Your will, my will. Ab kahan ho gaya free will? Your will, my will. Your will is divine will. Divine will is my free will. Teri raza mein meri raza. Same Guru has told. Kitne ne pakda? How am I talking different? So people see the differences. They don't see the similarities that I talk about. How cunning, wise, very wise people. ये सब selective learners है. Selective learners mean they will go to hundreds of gurus and select their own teachings and make their own encyclopedia and keep boasting about I am loyal. That's why I put a post today also. If you are loyal, then go and be loyal. ये हजार जगह में loyalty नहीं होता. So some people come and look at my videos in YouTube and they have great comments there. You are saying all these things. I believe in my Guru only. Arey, if you believe in your Guru, what are you doing in my 2 hours video there? You saw the whole video 2 hours there. You're boasting about your loyalty and here you're doing something else. You're flirting around with my videos here. Why are you flirting here when you're committed to someone else? Awareness नहीं है. कुछ भी बोल डालो, कुछ भी कर डालो, सब चलता है. So why am I talking about this loyalty? Loyalty simply, I'm not bringing a new belief now. you belong to a certain cult and or a certain guru or a certain teacher or a school. Or, I'm not telling ye karo, wo mat karo. I am simply telling bring clarity in your life. Clarity is loyalty. You have found out this is what I want. Like I told you, I have found what I want. And that I know Ramana can give me. I don't find it anywhere else. I'm stuck to that because I have clarity. लॉयल्टी कम्स फ्रॉम क्लैरिटी. पहला दिशा तो क्लियर हो और चाहिए क्या एग्जैक्टली क्लियर हो. ये चाहिए क्या पता नहीं है. 1000 जगह में भटकता है आदमी. Endless scrolling in full day and night, scrolling, this guru, that guru, this teaching. What do you want? कबड़ा कर रखा है मन को. What are you looking in that? Are you still not able to settle down with something that you really want? You can't tell me you're settled, because if you're settled, you will not be endlessly scrolling all day and night. Something is wrong somewhere and you can't accept that. You say, no, this is the way I am. Do, no problem. But when you come to me, I'm going to expose that. If you don't like being exposed, run from me. Because I'll talk what can be seen there. You cannot play tricks there of what your mind is doing. If you don't like another person to tell you, if you don't like somebody else's awareness to tell you, then develop your own awareness. चलो वो ईगो से तो बैठो और अपना डेवलप करो. किसी का नहीं सुनना है मुझे, अपना ही सुनूंगा. I've seen couple of them, they do that also. When I tell these things, हम नहीं सुनेंगे, इसका भी नहीं सुनेंगे, चलो हम अपना ही कर लेंगे. करो, but do it in the right spirit. Don't अकड़ के मत करना, नहीं तो again you will go somewhere else. Do it with clarity of understanding. This guy said that it means something. Then you do it. घमंड से मत करना, जिद पकड़ के नहीं करना. तुमने बोला तो मैं भी ऐसे. Then you are going in some other direction. Understand why it is being told. So what I am telling is, until this inner guru is active fully, you need somebody from outside to guide you. If you don't like that guidance, if you don't want dependence, then work hard to illuminate your own awareness. And the day that is aware, you don't need an external awareness. How do I know if I need or not? See these things. Somebody is pointing from outside. Hey, ये तो ध्यान ही नहीं गया. I'm scratching my head. अरे ये तो सोचा ही नहीं मैं. Then you understand. There is still work to do from inside. Until then, be humble enough to take somebody else's guidance. Before mature होने से पहले फिर वो spiritual ego नहीं लेके आना. I don't need anybody. And then this is not polished inside. Okay, so these are all zones that I'm talking about: practice, effort, doership, and all these things there. So right now what I'm talking is the doership or the effort of that doership to reach a state of non-doership. You are using doership to become a non-doer, but at least you have an aim. You know what you're going ahead for, which direction you are going. What is the purpose of my life here? Where is my end destination? Clarity mil gaya. I know the whole trouble is this ego only. This I only is creating all this suffering so much. What my life would be if I simply behave like this body? Automatically everything is going. Pura bandobast ho ja raha hai. Do I have trouble with this body? Everything is taking care of itself. I don't have to handle anything. So some divine intelligence. So there is an intelligence that is running this Brahmanda, Pindanda, this microcosm, and there is an intelligence that is running the Brahmanda, macrocosm. And then I realize that force and this force is the same force. And that is what you call as God. Even atheist cannot deny this. Once you realize, this is very important for us. Tomorrow's webinar, we are going to that zone, okay? Today I gave this like a preparatory only, the whole thing. What are we, because that's the goal of the webinar. Now, what do we do to get into that kind of states? The I amness, that zone of blankness, that zone of being unaffected by thoughts, that zone of being a witness, and the multiple different kind of practices. छोटे practices hai. They are like all like tips. Because if you apply these things in life, it becomes easier for us to get into that zone of being. But for that, you'll have to practice certain things. But you should know what to practice at the right time, in the right direction. Every practice has to give a result. You should know what practice will give what result. Then only you are in the right direction. That's the webinar about what we are practicing. Today, I'm just talking about the theory part of it. Tomorrow is the practical of it. How do we imply on that? And what is the achievement? What is the benefit, if at all, you say, of this doership thing? You become free. You become free of the practices itself. A doer sits practicing. ये करना है, वो करना है, हजारों चीज करना है. A doer is simply all the time busy just practicing. Beautiful, super. Shiva Sutras also talk. I'll go into detail tomorrow because it's a very detailed thing. Shiva Sutras talk about these things. So the goal, the benefit of all this is becoming free. If we have one option to sit here and worry day and night about what to do, how to handle, what practice to do, this all practice karna, ye karna, wo karna, meditation karna, this is all the doer zone. Because there's a doer. I have to do this, I have to do that. ध्यान करो. ध्यान किया नहीं जाता, हो जाता है. Just like प्यार किया नहीं जाता, हो जाता है. Can you do love? Love happens, right? Natural. सहज. Meditation also happens. सहज होना चाहिए. प्यार होता है, ध्यान होता है, किया नहीं जा सकता. लेकिन हम बोलते कैसे हैं? What is the word we use? ध्यान करने जा. ध्यान करना है. I have to do my meditation. Doer. Do. What are we talking? Be meditation. Be meditative. Be. Being is our natural state of meditativeness. वहां किया नहीं जा सकता. When I am thoughtless, when I don't have ownership, when I don't have this free will, I become a natural being. Human being. The right word it is being. This human is a being. Being. Owner. So to be, the do has to all go. And do will not go just like that. Because I don't like doing. It's not going to go. I have to find out those. And that's in the webinar, we are focusing on that, going into those zones of where this doership is coming from. That has to be uprooted. From where this doership is so much coming from. That has to be burned down. And then you can be free. And when all the doing goes, that is the zone when the transition between doing to being happens. That is a very testing zone again, because a lot of dropping will happen. Doers have a lot of things to do and they carry a lot of baggages with them. The doer always carries a lot of baggage. The doer is the healer. Healer is the doer. See? I mean, you will have a lot of things to heal. Why doing है ना? किसी ने मेरे साथ बुरा किया, अब मैंने उसको माफ किया. करना. Somebody did wrong to me. Now you forgive. You're doing an act of forgiving. So doing it. Somebody did and you are doing something. You're undoing. All these processes which are there needs a lot of doing. Even a healer needs a lot to do. Meditator is a doer. The one who's blank, what is there to heal? Think about it. When you're in a state of blankness, do you even feel of forgiveness? सोच के देखो. When you're empty, when you're not thinking about anything, let's say no thoughts or anything, you're blank. At that time, do you think of forgiveness? You can't, because there is nothing to forgive. There is no one to forgive at that moment. बाद में जब आता है, then you want to forgive. You want to heal. You want to release. Release किसके लिए है? जो पकड़ा है. पकड़ता कौन है? Doer. So can you see there is lot of work there? You hold to something and then you sit releasing it. What crap? You hold on to grudges and then you want to forgive. Great. Shurveer Chakra. You hold on to all the crap of your past. Who's holding? Why are you holding it? Doer, ego. वो नहीं बोलेंगे. That nobody talks about it. Oh, there is the ego doer, nothing like that. Oh, it is there in me. I want to release it. Let me do this. This is the mind game that goes on. Mature, advanced seekers can see this crap and they refuse to play the game. They refuse to hold on to something. Then there is no question of releasing. When the holder is the problem. Holder is the doer. Doer hai to holder hai. You will hold it. You release the doer, you dissolve the doer, all these things will simply melt down. So much of work is gone. So much of work to do. Tapasya. कौन सा tapasya? The man in Gangotri, the yogi in Gangotri told me, बेटा जितना जटिल अहंकार उतना जटिल तपस. You get that? The stronger the ego, the stronger your sadhanas. That ego, that who's the one who's doing tapas to release this and that, the ego of that doer is there. So tapasvi is born out of it. A great tapasvi is born out of it, because there is a doer who's now releasing, tearing apart, and so much of release is happening. Why are you holding? Nobody will say that. This is a simple question. Why are you holding to release it? पूछने वाले को मार देंगे फिर, because it's an insult to the tapasvi. Mostly you can see the akrosh is always there. The tapasvi is always there. Angry people. भस्म कर दो, शराप दे दो, कर्स दे दो. Somebody asks something intelligent, somebody real, गुस्सा कर दो, शराप दे दो. What is that? That is not a godly act. Come on. It's all egoic zones. Getting offended and things. It's so simple to see the truth. So all these simple beings like Ramana Maharishi, Nisargadatta Maharaj are all these zone people. They have nothing to do with all this tapasya and this and that and doing and thing. Just be, they say. Just be. So being is not borrowing. Huh? The state is not borrowing. That is what we really are. So Ramana and Nisarga is trying to tell this is not something that is brought from outside. This is what you truly are. You are already free. You are already that simply conscious. You are the being of light. But from the being of light, we become a human being. We have entrapped ourselves in the human body. And then we bring all those qualities. So we are first the being. And in that being, it is the natural state to just be. But as this ignorance keeps building up, anamal, ego, the doership also keeps building up. And that is how we take on new things, and we keep fighting that. We keep taking, we keep releasing. All these transactions keep happening. So this will go on. Okay. This process of taking, holding, throwing, taking Brahma Tattva, keeping Vishnu Tattva, throwing Rudra Tattva. This is life. This will keep on going. If this is not ended, the cycle is not ended with every karma, if doership is not ended, punarpi janmam, punarpi maranam nischit. Who is born? The doer. Being is not born. Being is immortality. Being is that state when it's realized that there's nothing, no one to come and go. So that is a Jivan Mukta. Such a person never dies, never born, and is free, gone. But the doer will always come back because I have to do something in this life. Again, doership. What I could not do in this life, I will do it in the next life. That doership is there. That will make you come again. So the whole process, the ultimatum of spiritual paths, of liberation, mumuksha tattva, whatever you call it, or moksha, whatever you call that, is in dissolving this doer. So we are not intellectually dissolving it, okay? We are going to the Anamala. We are trying to find out ways through these deep teachings of Arunachala Tattva, Shiva Sutras, to dissolve that Anamala. Because from the Anamala only doership comes. You cannot just say, I am not the doer from tomorrow. Because those who say, I am not the doer, are the biggest doers. Like they say, I don't have ego. Who's saying that? Ego only saying. It's very catchy kind of a situation. It has to be dealt with a deep level of love and awareness. It's a zone of very unconditional love zone. So that's the state of being. Being is just unconditional. Because in that state, there is nothing felt other than love. Love and peace. That state. And that is what we are searching. All these janmas and all these doing, ये सब चक्कर किसके लिए आ रहा है? Chase for that peace and that contentment, that love, that state. But we are only chasing it in the wrong places because the sense of doership has come in us. That is why we are chasing it in this. Doership gone, beingness, we return to the original state. Any questions on this? Anybody has any questions? You can quickly ask. 5-10 minutes. Thank you so much. So much release happened now itself. Great clarity getting now. Guru said, Teri raja mein meri raja. Very few understanding. Yeah, very few understanding. I sealed it in my consciousness because I don't think he has spoken that multiple times. In one Shivir, he spoke it, and that pierced my heart. These 3 words came, and I have been talking about that from that time. And people have not even heard it. But for me, only those 3 words echo. He said, Teri raza mein meri raza. You see, exact words I'll say. He said, Ek din, you do all these things. आप करते रहो, लेकिन एक दिन साधक के लाइफ में ये स्थिति आएगा जो होगा तेरी रजा में मेरी रजा जो शिव आज्ञा जिस विधि राखे उस विधि रहिए. Now what is this state? Can this be a doer state? You tell me. Is this a doer state? Question yourself and see. Because if you are the creator of anything, तेरी रजा में मेरी रजा कहाँ है? मेरी रजा में सबकी रजा आ गया नहीं. I am the creator of my own destiny. मेरी रजा है. तेरी रजा कहाँ से है? जो शिव आज्ञा कैसा हो गया? जो मेरी आज्ञा है वो होगा. I am the creator. That doership, that ego is always, I am the creator. I will create. मेरी रजा, मेरी मर्जी. Don't you say? मेरी मर्जी. Here what is he saying? तेरी मर्जी. तेरी रजा में मेरी रजा. Whatever you find is right. जिस विधि राखे उस विधि रहिए. मतलब whichever situation you keep me in, I am fine. That results in हर हाल में खुश. हर हाल में खुश comes from जिस विधि राखे उस विधि रहिए. Means no complaint. You keep me in some lack, तेरी मर्जी. जिस विधि राखे उस विधि रहिए means any situation you are kept to live in that situation without brooding, without complaining. First of all, you have no right to complain because all the negativities that happen to you is your creation. Guru says, my Guru said, you are 100% responsible for everything that happens to you in your life. हो गया ना? Where is the question of crying now? This is teachings, learning the teachings in completion, not just picking one part of it. This suits my ego. I'll go and only create and भोग. License मिल गया भोग करने का. But आगे का क्या? भोग से मोक्ष ही tell. मोक्ष बाद में देखेंगे. So you are stuck somewhere. We are not got that final teachings in that. And final teaching, everybody is not ready, because that is why I presume he never repeated these teachings, these kind of teachings. So it's very easy to say har hal mein khush, but simply if you contemplate, what is this har hal? Har hal means jis vidhi, rakhe us vidhi rahi, whichever situation, that is har hal. Har hal mein khush. But people say, they don't understand that. They will say, गुरु ने बोला है हर हाल में खुश होना है, अभी थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम्स है लाइफ में, बट से गुरु सेड खुश होना है, तो आई विल पुट टू स्टिक्स एंड स्माइल, कीप लाइक दिस. गुरु ने बोला है हर हाल में खुश, दैट इज नॉट व्हाट ही मेंट कि फोर्स एंड मेक योरसेल्फ हैप्पी. खुश रहना चाहिए अपने को, फिर फिलॉसफी झाड़ो. अरे दुखी नहीं होने का रे, खुश होने का. हाउ कैन दैट पर्सन बिकम खुश? ही इज अनहैप्पी. गुरु ने बोला, अच्छा गुरु ने बोला है, फिर मैं कोशिश करता हूँ खुश होने. दिस इज नॉट द मीनिंग. कम ऑन. हर हाल में खुश यानी कि यू हैव रीच्ड अ स्टेट ऑफ बीइंगनेस, कि नाउ इट इज नॉट अफेक्टिंग, बिकॉज नाउ यू नो it is all his will, the one who's running the universe, the one who's running my body. If this intelligence which is running the whole cosmos, this cosmos and that cosmos, this which is, you can't think of even running it for 1 second, this whole thing, such a chaos. You see, this cosmic intelligence takes care of even a grasshopper, even an ant. What the ant has to be fed, where it will go and eat, how it will sustain itself, why the grass is green, why a rose is pink or green or yellow or whatever. Who adds color into that? Who puts fragrance into that? Every flower is different. The act of pollination, the act of reproduction in plant kingdom, bees, birds do that. Who arranged this system? Damn it, you can't even think of it. So, if in Prakriti, if in the cosmos, there is some power that is running this whole cosmos, can't it run my life? There is the question that comes, that I have to keep asking myself. This intelligence that is intelligent to run the whole thing, it cannot run my, no, I'll run my life. Then you are caught up in, that is when the Anamala and then the whole play of consciousness, then all the dramas you get into, all those things that you go on. Till when? Till you realize this intelligence takes care of everything. Teri raza mein meri raza. If this is the way life is designed, there is a meaning to it. Nothing is unjust. No injustice. In my life, outside my life. What is happening here is fine. What is happening in the world situation, ऐसा हो रहा है, वैसा हो रहा है, ये चल रहा है, वो चल रहा है. Why are you bothered? You are bothered because that same, the control thing. We must control. We must do this. We must do that. Humanity must do this. None of our business. So Ramana says, as far as possible, do not interfere into the worldly affairs. Leave the worldly business to the one who has created this world. Ramana says, it is his business. It is his work. He has created. He takes care of it. Why are you bothered about it? Because we are bothered, our energies are distracted in all these things, and it is investing in nothing. You don't get anything. It is just an illusion you're chasing. We do this, we do that. You see, it is endless. You spend your whole janma in this conflict zone that the worlds are plotting against each other. You will never reach a conclusion. There's no conclusion. Something will die down, something new will come. It will go on endlessly. You have to be fed up of this game and turn within and leave the whole thing to the creator. Then what happens? All that attention and energy and awareness and consciousness which is going into these unwanted areas will be settled here. The whole boom will happen from here. Okay. What I was seeking got answered today. Lots of synchronization is happening. Thank you. Okay. Fine. Okay. Those whoever have signed up for the webinar tomorrow is Sunday again. 12 o'clock we'll meet. If you have not, if somebody wants to sign up, you can do it, but do it 1 hour at least before. Don't do it on the last moment. I'll not be able to see it. Then don't keep sending messages. Last moment I've done it. Do it at least by before 11 o'clock, 1 hour before the webinar. And I'll send the link tomorrow morning to all those who have registered. And the same, if you've understood this, very good, the whole thing. And if this is crystal clear, now you know what to do. That is why this preparatory will help. I did this because you don't have to waste time in the webinars talking about it. That's why I did this. And this I'll put it on YouTube also because it's a good content. Everybody will know about it. So I'll post this to the rest of the people who are not in the Indian zone, time zone, so they can see the recording also. So thank you for being here and see you tomorrow. Whoever is registered, who have not, we'll meet on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay, we'll end it with a small prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudayachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we all be blessed. May we all be free. May we all evolve. Arunachala bless us all. Bye.